Good evening, everyone, and welcome to RVing in New England with Bob and John. And I'm going to bring John right into the broadcast now. We're trying out some new software, so hopefully you see me and John and the title of the show up there. So we got a little bit different software. You'll see a few different things on the screen tonight. You want to say a few words, John?
Hey, Bob, I just want to say it's a pleasure to be inside because for the last hour and a half, up until about 15 minutes ago, I was out brushing off my car, and you know what? All you have to do is put on the Weather Channel or CNN or anything. We're getting blasted with up to a foot to 18 inches of snow here in New England. And you know what? It makes me want to RV even more because when you figure in 3 weeks, I call the official or the unofficial or the official or the unofficial start of the RVing season. I figure April 1st to October 15th is RV time in New England, and I'm looking forward to a fast melt.
Well, we are too, and
Fast melt.
so we've got 2 gals and a dog on already.
Does that mean 3 people?
That's 3 people.
Three dogs and a gal. We get credit for 3 viewers.
2 dogs and a gal. All right. Well, the first thing that we're going to talk about tonight is groups. So I'm going to bring up a little graphic here. I'm going to drop. Here we go. I don't know. Now that probably isn't going to be seen that well, but we're talking tonight about different types of groups. So you want to take the lead on that one, John? And welcome to everybody on the show. Hi, Jerry. Glad to see you.
You know, one of the things about RVing that I've found over the years, over the past 15 years that we've been active RVers, is that one of the most exciting and fun part of RVing is meeting people along the way, whether it be at a campground, whether it be at an RV show, whether it be, whatever, or a group meeting. And one of the things that people may want to consider, some people like to travel alone, no matter what. They like to travel alone. They're at their own pace. They don't have to worry about anybody else's schedule. Others like to find out information from others about places that they can go to that the others have been to. And some just like going with the crowd. And what we've done is some extensive research to find some of the most prominent and well-known groups. So as you look at your screen, you can see, let's go on the top left, at least as far as my screen is the top left, it's the Good Sam Club. And this is an organization of RVers that have chapters in virtually every state and I know in Canada, several provinces in Canada. We know a lot of the New England people. We know Joe and Ron, the Cabosa. They're the mass Good Sammers, and Jason Cole. And man, I'm at a blank. I can't remember. I'm looking right at her, but I can't remember her last name. So if somebody wants to tell me what Mrs. Cole, I'm looking right at her, and I have a mental block. I can't think of her name. So they're the Good Sam people. Then we've got the Escapees, which is another organization that I've had some familiarity with. It's, again, it's a national organization headquartered in Texas. They've been around for 35 years or so. They were founded by 2 RVers that just decided to share some knowledge and have a great group of people, a little less structured than Good Sam. And
they're on 3rd generation now too.
Right, exactly. Yep. I went to one of their events up in Vermont a couple years ago, and then we've got FMCA, which is Family Motor Coach Association, but they may have to put an asterisk next to that because up until recently they were restricted. Membership was restricted. You had to have a motorized RV or converted bus, but now they are welcoming in people with towables.
Well, and they're changing the name of the magazine from Family Motor Coaching to Family Camping. Family Camping,
okay.
They're bringing it in at the magazine level right away.
Yep. That makes sense to do that. And another group out there is RVing Women. Now there are more and more women that are traveling together or traveling by themselves, and many times women have special areas that they want to go to, special activities that they want to involve themselves with that may not be couple activities, but again, RVing Women is another organization, and I believe
while you're on, I've been having conversations this week with Janine Pettit, who has the Girl Camper organization, and a bunch of women that go out camping, single women, but not necessarily single. It could be married women that just leave their husbands at home. And also what we're talking to her about is bringing her camping college to New England. I have to find a couple of dealers. And they take a Saturday morning, they go to a dealership, and the dealer participates, teaches the women how easy it is to hook up the trailer, unhook it, empty the holding tanks, do a little preventive maintenance. She's been very successful doing that throughout the Northeast and elsewhere. So that's coming up on the horizon. So we'll let you know as soon as we get that scheduled. My bulletin will go out to the dealers probably tomorrow on that. Yep.
Yeah. Jerry mentioned RV Village or Our Village, which is another organization. A lot of information there. I don't know if they have events like the other folks do.
They're going to be starting one. Yeah, they're going to be starting one. Yep.
Yeah, Lisa. Lisa Cole, Jason and Lisa
Cole, and
thank you, Walter.
And Joe and Rhonda in Massachusetts.
Yeah,
I don't think Jason's watching tonight. It's snowing out, and he plows. So I got a funny feeling.
Rosa plows, because I posted something earlier today about another storm, and Joe wrote "love it," and then he put a $sign next to it.
Yeah.
The funny thing about this RVing thing is, Bob, you and I in particular have become friends with these folks, not necessarily just during RV season, but we see them at a lot of shows, and we share a lot of information back and forth across the internet here and in social media sites. In fact, tonight I was driving home, and there was a tractor trailer that was tipped over on the highway right near me, and Jason happened to be seeing it and said, is it one of my fuel trucks? Because he works for a large company that distributes gasoline, and it wasn't. It was a different kind of truck, but he knew right away and helped me tell the TV reporters that it was not a fuel truck. So there's another example of an RVer providing information really that had nothing to do with RVing. And Bob, you mentioned, the other one that I had not heard of before, but found it out of RVing, is the SMART, Special Military Active Retired Travelers. And that's down in the bottom right. We're not necessarily endorsing these groups. We're just letting you know of the availability of them, because I don't care how long you've been RVing, you can never say, I know it all, because there's always something new. Bob, you've been around a lot longer than me, and aren't you amazed at all the new technology that has come into the industry in the last few years?
Oh, absolutely, and it's going to get even more increasing. More technology is coming. Hopefully, it's a little bit easier to use, but it's very sophisticated, and you're going to see a lot of smart applications that you're going to be able to control from your smartphone. So we've had the tablets that you can control the awnings and the lights and what have you, but some of those are applications are being shifted over to the smartphone. So you just sit outside with your smartphone and control those.
You won't even have to get up all weekend. You could park your butt down on Friday night and not have to get up until Sunday morning, except for a couple other activities.
All right, you touched on Our Village. I think we answered that one, Jerry. Michelle's got a note on there that they've been traveling out west this week. They were doing a rolling on TV shoot out at the Lance Camper Factory in Lancaster, California. They're on their way back to Prescott Valley. Said she saw a lot of Good Sams, not KOAs. All right, there is a difference. KOAs are either franchised or company owned. When you see a Good Sam sign, it is not owned by Good Sam. They have an affiliate program for campgrounds that if they sign up in the Good Sam directory, they get
a discount.
They get a 10% discount. I want to switch gears, and this is where our new technology is going to come in a little bit here. I'm going to kill that, and I'm going to bring something else up on the screen. And last Saturday, if you were watching our site, you probably saw John 6 or 7, maybe 8 times. Tell them what you were doing last Saturday in case they missed it. And the videos are on our website.
Yeah, they're on the website, so you can look for them after you hear what I'm going to tell you. What we've done for the last couple of weeks, 2 weeks ago we were at Diamond RV in West Hatfield, Massachusetts, and this past weekend.
Did we lose John's voice? Can you hear me, John?
family lease trailers, because there's two Lees, so I want to make sure I get the right one. But this is the one in Windham, Maine. And I'll tell you this. By the way, Maine didn't have any of the issues that we had with the weather last weekend. So we went up there on Saturday morning, and I was immediately greeted by somebody who helped me park my car. And when I walked in, nobody knew who I was, which is kind of amazing because I'm such a celebrity in the RV world, right, Bob? But they just greeted me, and it just made me feel warm and welcome.
Well, that's because I told them you were an important person, John.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Exactly. So, we did several videos with Dan, and Dan's the new owner, and Dan's only been in the business for, I'd say, a year and a half, or maybe not even that long.
Just since last April, 10 months.
Okay, so 10 months, not even a year. But what he's done is he's brought his welcoming attitude from other businesses that he's been very successful with into the RV business. Now, that's not to say that other RV dealers aren't friendly, but there was something special about this place that I felt the warmthness when I walked into the store. Maybe it was because they had the coffee there, they had donuts, they had brownies, they had cakes and muffins. That could have been it.
Maybe, okay. Yeah, maybe that was it.
That could have been it. But
I'll have to talk to Dan, though, because apparently didn't have any elephant ears.
No, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that was one of the things that I certainly found lacking. And if he said, what could we do better? You brought up elephant ears. You better tell our audience what they mean by that, because if we start with inside jokes.
No. It's
not watch anymore.
Indiana's version of fried dough, only twice as big and probably 3 times as many calories. But we get it when we go out to dealer open house. We get it. John will tell you he doesn't get it, but I'll get one and he'll eat half of it. So.
No, see, the truth of the matter, folks, is this. Bob will get one, eat the whole thing, and then move to the next trailer. And by the way, this is at the RV open house, which is open to dealers and media folks like Bob and I. And it's held right at Elkhart, the ground zero for RV manufacturing in the United States. This happens to be at the Forest River plant. And right next to the elephant ears fried dough trailer, there's another trailer that Zagami, without any hesitation at all, ordered a large strawberry sundae in order to wash down the fried.
That would be strawberry shortcake, Mr. DePietro.
Strawberry shortcake? I thought it was ice cream.
No. Well, they put ice cream on that particular strawberry shortcake.
Okay. Oh, they put ice cream on top of the strawberry shortcake. Okay. Yeah. So it's even worse.
Okay. So we don't have any more. We don't have any more on-site online scheduled yet, but watch our Facebook page, and as we schedule them, we will let you know where those are coming.
Now, one of the things that I definitely wanted to tell people about, and there's a video there's a young couple that I happened to notice that was in the checkout line in the store, and they had an entire shopping cart full of product, sewer hoses and toilet paper and reading material, booklets, and they even bought Polk's book, Mark and Dawn Polk's book, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But I asked them, do you mind if we interview you as soon as you're done checking out? And they said yes. And they told us that they had just bought a brand new, their first time, their I think it was a motorhome. I think it was a Mini Winnie. And they were going to take a leave of absence from work and just go see the country. And I'd say they were late 20s or early 30s. And some people might say, oh, you're going to put your career behind. And they figured, you know what? She worked in a field that she could work from the road. And he actually worked for LL Bean. So he was going to take a leave of absence, and they were hitting the road. But the beauty of it is that they had a time period, but they didn't have an itinerary, which is really cool. A lot of people say, oh, you got to have every trip, every stop planned. These guys didn't want to do that. They're the new breed of RVer that, again, they're not big on joining groups. They kind of like to freelance. And the only reason I'm telling you this story is I said, what other dealers did you visit? And they said, none. And I said, well, why is that? They said, they had us from hello. I think that's a country song. But they said the folks at Lee's took such an interest in them that they felt no reason to go anywhere else. Now, they did their shopping on the internet, but they were just totally overwhelmed by the generosity and courtesy of the Lee's staff. And I think in New England, Bob, where we have individually owned stores and family-owned stores, you're going to find that more here than other parts of the country, which may be the big giant corporations.
That's true. And I'm going to switch graphics again, if I can figure this out, and I'm sure I can. Boom, 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 boom. Because I want to make an announcement.
We need a drum roll.
Right. Have a drum roll, please. We do have a winner in our Share Your Love contest for your most favorite dealer, and Hemlock Hill RV ran away with it. They ran away with it. They had a lot of fans and friends and family. They just did a great job promoting it. That's really what the intent of the contest was, to get people talking about your dealership. And Tiffany H. from Vernon, Connecticut is the winner of the $100 voucher that she'll be able to use at Hemlock Hill RV. She's ecstatic. They're ecstatic.
In the store, or
right. Yep. And it can be used in the parts store or service or down payment on a new RV or whatever. They also win a pizza lunch for the team at Hemlock Hill, so we'll go down there probably sometime next week. We'll try to do some videos and photography, and we will be inviting Tiffany to join the group down there and have a good time. So congratulations to Chris Andro and Jason Andro, Michelle Andro, and Jesse, the sales manager, put a lot of work into this, and they're always very cooperative when we go down for the videos, and they sell fun, and let me tell you, they have fun down there. They really enjoy what they're doing. It's a great dealership. If you get down to Southington, Connecticut, stop in and say hello to them.
Yep. Jesse loves the camera.
Yep, he does. He does.
Loves the camera. He sees me coming with the camera, and he runs toward me. Whereas people in some other dealerships run away, but Jesse likes it. By the way, did they win the electoral vote or the popular vote?
That was the popular vote.
Popular vote. Okay.
Right. We don't have electoral votes in the state here.
Now, there's an interesting photo. I think I know something a little bit about that photo.
Well, tell them what they got coming up this weekend.
Well, we've got an open house at Man's RV, and I know Jeff and his family and the entire crew there will want to welcome you. I know in order to do that, he's going to be plowing. He's going to be doing a lot of plowing in the next couple of days. But you know what? The way they've got it set up, he's just got those roads to plow, and all the RVs are right there. He'll have them shoveled out, and you'll be able to go in and enjoy it. And he even has an indoor showroom for a few of us. You know, for those that might be looking for pop-up and A-liners, they'll be able to go right in his showroom.
Yep.
And one of the things about Mann's is that they don't try to be all things to all people. They specialize in certain types of units. And one of the things that I don't think anybody has a better understanding of is those A-liners, which pop right down. And I know he's had his daughters at the shows, how those things can pop up and be ready to go in less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, she does a phenomenal job on that. Just think about that, getting to the campground, unhooking from your tow vehicle, and 30 seconds later you're inside and starting dinner or taking a nap or watching the basketball game.
Yep.
In addition to our friends at Mann's, and they're tell them where they are while I switch graphics, John.
They're on Route 122 in Rutland, Massachusetts, which is just a short drive from Worcester. Actually, from Connecticut, if you're coming up I-84 at the Mass Pike exit 9, get off there. Actually, don't even get on the Pike. Just go on Route 20 and then up 49, and we'll take you right into Rutland that way through Spencer in the Brookfields. But the great thing about that particular place is that again, it's family run, and they will remember you if you saw them at a show and then want to actually go to the facility. It's amazing the number of times when I've been in there and somebody's come in the door and Jeff says, "Did I see you at the Worcester show? Did I see you at the Springfield show?" And I'll say, "Yeah, you're right."
Well, and one of the reasons for that is, and we love all of our dealers, and we We treat them all equally. But Jeff spends, if you watch Jeff work a show, he spends a lot of time with people. People might have to wait to talk to him, but he doesn't talk to you for 5 seconds and move on to the next one, talk to them for 5 seconds. He will engage you in a conversation and answer your questions. Does a great job for it. So that's why he gets a lot of return traffic that come out to the dealership after a show. Before we jump into the next open house, Jerry brought up a good point when we were talking about getting to the campground and setting up and what have you. He says nothing ruins a trip faster than having to be somewhere at a particular time. And I haven't posted a comment tonight. Oh, there you go, Jerry. So, and that's true. When you're out there on the road, don't kill yourself. Take your time. Get there by daylight. Take your time. Have a cup of coffee in the morning. You know, we want you to enjoy this camping stuff and do that.
See, one of the things that I like to do is on days that we're traveling, I like to get up early and get on the road. I like to be on the road by 6:30 so that by 9 in the morning, when most people are just getting going, we might already be at our new destination. That's just me. There's some people like to sleep till the crack of noon and then have the campground knock on the door and say, come on, you got to get out of here. And then they move on and get to their campground at 6 o'clock at night. Who cares? But you know, the beauty of camping is that it allows us both of those options.
Okay, you're going to block you and me. They can't see that, but they can see two gals comment, and it's very appropriate. You know, when we get these little hints, and that's what's great about having an audience and you people contributing to the conversation just as much. But Michelle and Laurie mentioned the fact that one of the things that you should have is a water pressure regulator. Absolutely. And it looks like maybe they didn't have one because she's got a segment coming up on Rolling on TV, and they may have had a water burst. I don't know exactly what went wrong, but
explain, from like my friends down south say, Bob, explain what one is.
Right. So what you've got is you always want to have a regulator between your city water that's coming in off the post into your RV, because these campgrounds, some are not, they don't have a lot of pressure, or some have too much pressure. Too much pressure will cause damage to your water heaters. It will cause damage to the pipes. It could cause some of the plastic pipes to break and flood it, especially if you're not in the camper. So this regulates, despite what's coming out of the city water from the post, it will regulate a specific amount of pressure that will be safe for the piping, whether it be copper or plastic, inside the RV.
Bob, you bring up a very important point there that wasn't part of our agenda, but since it's part of this discussion, I'll bring it up. There are people that will, when they get to the campground, they hook their water up and they keep the water faucet on all the time, coming from the post to the trailer. Okay. Here's what I do. And I don't like doing it that way because the possible part where a leak could occur, but here's what I do. I will fill up my tank, my fresh water tank, and then I've got water in my unit. Then I turn off the faucet outside, and sometimes I'll even disconnect it if I have to stretch the hose for too long. You don't necessarily, you get enough pressure from your own water pump that avoid that opportunity to flood your RV by having it break while you're not there. And the last thing you want to do is come back to your campsite, open your RV door, and be greeted with an indoor swimming pool.
Okay, I cannot believe how fast the time is going. Another open house this weekend. Actually, it's a continuation of what John started last week, March 3rd to March 18th at Lee's Family Trailer Sales in Wyndham. That sale is going on all the way through the 18th, and they were absolutely packed last weekend when John was doing the videos.
Yep, they were packed.
We have a couple of shows this weekend. No, not this weekend. There are no shows this weekend. On the 23rd, we have a show, and it's the New Hampshire Camping Show, and that's at the Sportsplex up in Bedford, New Hampshire. Now, we have, at that show, we have Cold Springs RV, Forest RVs, Fuller RV Rentals, Pete's RV, and Seacoast Resort, not Seacoast RVs, Seacoast Resort will be exhibiting. And they're in 2 or 3 buildings up there at the Sportsplex. And then the week after that is Easter and Passover, so there will not be any shows that week. And then the week after that is the Vacation Land show in Maine, up in Auburn, Maine, and that one draws very well. They moved it from Portland, Maine a couple of years ago to the Norway Bank Arena up in Auburn. And that one, the only dealers that we have in that will be Lee's Family Trailer Sales and Seacoast RVs. There will be some other dealers there, but they're not members of NERVDA on the main show. Now, one of the things that, let me go up here, let me put that down. I said that this particular format, the reason John and I wanted to test it out tonight is to see how it is, because it's the added benefit of the BeLive software that we use. So we can actually have up to 4 people in this display. We're showing 3 because there's only 2 of us that are live, but we could have 3 people and the graphics, or we could have 4 people on the show. So next Wednesday, we are going to kick off our shows that have guests, and hopefully we'll have one every week, but there may be some weeks where we can't schedule somebody, or just John and I want to talk to you. That next Wednesday, 7 o'clock, we will have Mark and Don Polt from RV Education 101. And you may have seen the posting that we did this week. They launched an online training program with all of their previous training materials on streaming video. So you can sign up for these on this site. They're $19 to $39 depending upon the course. You can take the course at your own leisure, but we're going to have Don and Mark with us next week. So questions that you might have for them, check out their site, see what they've got. But it's going to be a fun and informative time. They're in their 19th year since they started RV Education 101. They are tremendous educators, and Mark is.
And they're nice people.
Yeah, they are. They're
nice people.
They're just very nice people. So look for them next Wednesday, and then also look for their book, which I didn't bring up, the RV book. Nope, I didn't bring that up. Okay, so we don't have the RV book. Let me just go down here. We had some good input, and we got kind of talking away there. Let's see what Jerry says. You're the guy that starts the Cummins at dark 30. Not me. Maybe DePietro does that, but.
There's always somebody that runs that generator at crazy hours.
Right.
And I'll tell you, it's another thing that you want to do when you're pulling into your campground. If they give you your choice of spots, if they're not predetermined, you know what? Make sure you don't park your windows right near where the other person's exhaust is, because it's not cool if you're going to breathe somebody else's exhaust. So sometimes you may want to point your unit in a different way so that you're not going to get that exhaust right nearby you. And Bob, while we have our folks on, for those folks that are viewing on cell phones, down the bottom left, there's a button that says share, a little rectangular button that says share. We would certainly appreciate it if you would hit share, and then for your camping friends or groups that you belong to, just tell them about this, because right now the name of the show is camping in, is RVing in New England. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that all the activity is restricted to New England, because there are New England campers that head out of New England. So send this link to your camping friends all over the United States. And New England is a mecca for people to come to in the spring, summer, and fall. And there's something in it for everyone.
You get viewers outside New England, because Michelle and Laurie are somewhere outside New England. I guess they're probably still in California to do that. So yeah, you don't want to, campground etiquette. I know Alan Warren's talking about that tonight on the RV Show USA. So if you really like what we're doing and want to get some more of it on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock on the RV Show USA, that's their Facebook page name. Alan Warren and Lisa Warren do a great job down there. They had Chuck Woodbury as a guest last week. Tune in there, and they're going to be talking about campground etiquette tonight. Yep. And that's always a pretty topical thing. So we're pretty much at the end of that. At least they don't shut us off on time.
You know what? I look down here and I see the people that are viewing. I see Sally Hong's viewing, and I know they are they're from Rochester, New York, and they just bought their first travel trailer a couple weeks ago, and I don't think they get it until like the middle of April. But I know they're going to be listening frequently because they want to learn as much as they can. So New England, we might as well change it to the Northeast. But they vacation in New England. And they're nice people, so we want to welcome John and Sally Hongs.
I don't see, you just saw them on the Who's Watching, or?
Yeah.
I don't see her note, but Bill Trevor's joining us, has joined us, and he's got a good point. Let me just stick that up on the screen there, Bill. This would be an excellent place. You know, we do webinars and seminars at the RV shows, and I've been looking for a different way to get that message out. But Bill, that's a great suggestion, because we could take a different night of the week and do some webinars, or I could do my presentation from the Boston show. And Bill is an associate member of WSA, Web Services Advisors. Does a lot with SEO, a lot of data-driven marketing. He's got some very interesting concepts. I've had some meetings with Bill, and maybe doing something on data-driven marketing with him and his company. You can see his contact information when you go to NERVDA.com. Look for the associate members page, and you will find him there, and you'll find John there, and you'll find a host of other people. So I really didn't think that we stuck so much on that agenda tonight. You know, we were very confident before the show that we had more than enough, and we wouldn't get it all in. But I guess we're getting better at it. So when you do share the program, just tell your friends what a great job Bob and John do on the program, and then have them join us next week.
But they can also join us. I mean, they can watch this, throughout the week. It doesn't have to be live.
Right. After the fact, it's on our website. It's under it's on our videos page. And we'll promote that to get that out there. So until next week at 7:00, we really appreciate those of you who jumped on tonight. Jerry, good to see you as a regular. Michelle and Laurie, have a safe trip over to Prescott Valley. And John, you want to close it out?
Well, we just want to say thank you so much, everyone. Don't let this winter weather, or at least in New England, delay or defer your thoughts about the great RVing season that's coming up in just a few weeks. So with that being said, on behalf of Bob Zagami, it's John DePietro for the New England RV Dealers Association special production called RVing in New England. Have a great evening, everyone.
Good night now.